So thanks. The hardest thing about this was realizing that I was supposed to talk about only one thing, because I'm a Trinitarian, and so I always talk about three things. So I'm going to just say 6 minutes worth about one idea, but it will have three parts, of course. So the idea is, as was mentioned, and thank you for that really generous introduction, as was mentioned, I basically support my art addiction in biotech. And so I've been involved in that sector for a long time. One of the things that was exciting to me about moving to the community of Houston was I was moving into this ecosystem right here. All those buildings that you see are all either hospitals or medical research buildings. If the Texas Medical Center were an independent city, it would be the 8th largest downtown in America. 100,000 professionals work there. There's $2 billion worth of research. I thought, wow, this is going to be biotech heaven. There will be companies being started right and left. Turns out, no. And I didn't understand why that was, and I'm going to tell you in the next 4 minutes what we're trying to do about that. Part of the challenge is that every one of these multiple remarkable institutions sees themselves as competitors. For those of you who are old enough, you may remember that several of the most famous heart surgeons in America, Michael DeBakey, Denton Cooley, Christian Bernard, all worked in different hospitals in this medical center. So it's a place that's used to competition. And in order to build an innovation ecosystem, we had to find a way to get all these different units to collaborate with one another, or else we wouldn't have the deal flow necessary to be able to build the kind of health science innovation ecosystem that we needed. And we really need to be able to do this because when you talk about creating jobs, one of the most prolific sectors in the United States is the pharma sector and the biotech sector that's fed that, and I won't go into why this is, but both of their R&D approaches are seriously broken. And unless that's fixed, there won't be the new medications that I now realize I'm going to need soon. We're trying to bring together 40 institutions, including 5 different universities, the state and private industry all to work together. And the idea here is that it turns out we're the only institution among this group that doesn't compete. We don't own any beds, we don't provide medical care, so we're the Switzerland of the Texas medical. I hate this. I teach a really big auditorium. We're the Switzerland of the Texas Medical Center, so we can bring everybody together without them feeling like they're losing anything by being part of this collaborative. So we developed something called the Houston Area Translational Research Consortium, so it was for any institution in Houston, including the community colleges who want to be part of this. We have a brand new building to house such a thing, and if you think about that acronym being hat trick, for any of you who are hockey fans, you realize it has 3 goals, right? So our 3 goals are, first and foremost, because we're an educational institution, there's an educational goal. How do we provide an understanding, a mindset, a changing of the culture, where physicians and scientists who haven't been involved in commercialization get excited about being involved in commercialization as a part of their give back to the community. So that's one thing. Second part of the educational mission is how do we create opportunities for my own students to get experiential learning and helping be involved from the very beginning in the creation of a brand new company. So we have one of the top ranked entrepreneurship MBA programs, and yet our students haven't had the opportunities to do the hands-on internships at a meaningful managerial level. So this solves that problem for us as well. The second is creating that innovation ecosystem. One of the things that's hard about life science creation, you really need me to talk into this. Absolutely, got it. One of the things that's hard about life science company creation is there's this institution called the FDA. And so when you're trying to figure out what you want to have as your endpoint, you have to start with that endpoint and work what I call label backwards. If you don't know what you want the FDA to approve, you will run out of money before you get to an approvable endpoint. So that label backwards approach is really important. If gottrash.com had been regulated by the FDA, it would have taken 10 years to buy the pickup truck, and it would have cost $300 million or so. So we have to have smart money involved. We have to have a CRO that helps us. This is somebody that runs clinical trials, help develop the preclinical stuff. We have to have mentors. We have to have entrepreneurs and residents. And then the third thing that we do is new co-creation. And we have a pretty small goal there. We have about 900 patents a year that come out of the TMC that are really high quality life science patents. Out of that, we bundle them, slice and dice them. We're trying to create 4 new companies a year. That's all. With the idea that if we do this well enough, we'll do far more than industry standard. If 2 out of those 4 companies survive, you make the Entrepreneurship Hall of Fame in the biotech world. That gives us an IRR of about 18% a year, and that allows this system to go evergreen in 5 years.